today's video, I thought I'd offer 5 tips to deal with writer's block when you're struggling to get words on the page. My first tip is to edit rather than draft. Go ahead and go to the top of your manuscript and just carefully read through what you've already written. Either comment using the track comment feature, or actually go ahead and start revising as you go down the page. By rereading what you've already written and doing small revisions, hopefully you can get that push you need to continue drafting once you've reached the end of your document. My second tip is to look for gaps in your research. So again, start from the top of your manuscript and carefully read, looking for areas where you can see that a citation could be useful that isn't yet there. Once you read through and you've marked down all these places where you can use some citation, consider the sources that you already have saved, and also realize that you might have to go out and look for more research that meets those areas that you need more work on. That way, you can be productive in finding the research you need when you're ready to start drafting again. If those first 2 steps still seem like too much work, my third tip is to actually work on the other features of the genre that you're writing. So for example, the works cited page or bibliography might need some work, or it might not exist yet because you haven't finished a draft. Still, I'm sure you've already included some citations, so go ahead and work on that feature of the genre. If you have an abstract, footnotes, or endnotes, these are other areas that you can work on revising as well. My final 2 tips are actually to help you with drafting. First, create small sections in your manuscript. Rather than telling yourself, oh, I have to write the literature review right now, consider, well, I have to write in the first paragraph of this section about this topic, and that next paragraph should be about this topic, and the next paragraph should be about this topic. Then look and see, okay, well, I feel most comfortable with the topic of paragraph B, and so start there instead of paragraph A. By having these small sections, you might have a stilted feel to your writing, but that can be revised and smoothed over in revision. So having small sections to work with rather than large ones can help you start drafting little by little. Finally, if even section drafting feels overwhelming, considering actually doing a detailed outline for each section rather than trying to draft the section as a whole. In this way, you might even think to yourself, well, let's draft the topic sentence of this paragraph, and then the second one, and the third. And then you might have, okay, well, what quote do I think will work for each of these topic sentences? All right, well, what do I want to say about each of these quotes and how they support the topic sentences? All right, what's my next step to transition in between this paragraph? In this way, you're almost drafting the whole section, but you're thinking about it in small parts rather than as a whole. These tips were inspired by just how much writer's block I've experienced in this past academic year. In my blog post though, I talked about how I've created a writing routine to use this summer to kind of smooth my way into writing larger and larger pieces of my dissertation. So if you want advice on creating a writing routine, go ahead and check out my blog post that I've linked below. In my next video, I'll be sharing tips for lesson planning for the fall semester. So if you want to make sure not to miss out on that content, go ahead and click subscribe below. I've also linked a blog post I wrote about my top productivity tools for writing.